Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2. So we left off in part 1, pretty much checking the compression. It was zero compression on besides one every single cylinders, so it was like zero. So I'm assuming the timing is off, because that's why it's throwing the codes for the camshaft position sensors, because I did replace from a running car to, I know for a fact, works. Still throwing the same codes, it's just cranks, but like it sounds like no compression, because it doesn't have a compression. So today I do have special tools to time the timing. So for that, well, we're gonna remove the air box. We do have to remove the clutch fan. We'll take the covers off. This can stay. We'll put it aside to pull the valve covers off. That way, so I can align the crank to the right position. I gotta go underneath, put the pin to the transmission so it's locked, and then I have special tools that goes in here and here, so we can check the timing. If the timing is perfect and I'm still not having compression, and most likely this engine is toast, but we'll see. If the timing is completely off, so it could be very possible that that's why we're not getting any compression on this engine. Like I said, it's super unusual. Even if you have a bad engine, you would have still some kind of compression on, but it couldn't go all 7 cylinders like dead, like the indicator would not even budge, like moving. So yeah, okay, right now I'll start removing some parts, and then we'll see the timing. Yeah, we'll see. From here usually you can tell if the guide's been done to it, but this chain looks newer than Vano's chains, but we'll see. I gotta pop it and examine the engine. Hopefully it's the timing. If it's the timing, I can set the timing off, put the timing correctly, so that way we have a running engine, because it's a low miles an original engine. So yeah, all right, let's get to it. And the clips I'm talking about, that goes on top of the injectors, the connectors, so it has like a square connectors, clips in there. So it's something like this, like a tool pick. So it is hard to reach in there, but it's manageable. Once you undo them, you can just literally pull up, and yeah. All right, I'm gonna just go do this real quick, then all right guys, once you undo the clips, I'll show you once I pull it out, so you have access to see, and you just pull it. And I had to pull that one knot out, because this bracket, for the EGR thing, it was on my way to reach in the to get the clip. So that thing, now all you have to do is just pull it. So yeah, pretty much you have this kind of clips. They go around the connectors that connects to the injector. Let me zoom in if I can actually show you guys. I don't know if it's possible, but hold on. So pretty much, if you can see it, that's injector there, and that goes on top of it, so you have rounded those metal clips, square clips. So yeah, now that thing is loose. I'm gonna just, let me zoom out, undo the valve cover. So it's just, you'll see it just bolts around it, 10 mil. You undo that, we'll pull the valve cover out and see what's going on there. All right. Alright guys, so I undid all the bolts. So in my case, the valve cover is a little stuck, so at this point just get like a rubber hammer, just tap it lightly on the valve cover so it loosens, so you can pull it out. Like, as you can tell, I'll show you. Here you go. See, it's stuck, so I'm gonna get a like a rubber hammer, just tap it lightly. Ready for some love taps. Here we go. Alright, it's out. Alright guys, at first glance, I mean, nothing looks like unordinary, so everything is intact. I mean, it is a OEM chain still, so I'm assuming timing guides hasn't been done. So I'm gonna probably plug the spark plugs holes with like a towels or something, or maybe like a rag, so I don't drop anything there. It would be catastrophic if I drop something. I don't want that, definitely. I'm gonna probably plug some napkins there and try to crank the engine and see if this lifters or whatever you call it, maybe they're stuck, so I don't know what's going on, so we'll see. Alright, I want to see if it's spinning at all. Okay, let me just plug that real quick. So apparently the chain doesn't rotate at all, so like that's interesting. That's a first. Oh wow, that's crazy. Alright guys, that was a first. I've probably fixed like 30 or more E38s in the past 2 years. Never experienced such a thing. So that's why it doesn't have compression, because it's not spinning the camshafts. And I think the chain is snapped, because look, I do have the tensioner there, right? So you see this? It's either timing guides done bad, so loose, or something. So okay, at this point I'm gonna just pull the whole front end out, drop the oil pan, and just take the front of the engine out, so pretty much dismantle it and pop all the covers out and see what's going on there. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was like, what? Like, why is it not having any compression? I'm like, let me just pop the cover and crank the engine. Literally this whole thing. So, I mean, at this point, I'm comfortable. The motor is good, so it's not overheated or anything. The piston rings, everything is good. I think it's something in the bottom snapped, like a something to do with the chain, or like a timing guide chains, because look at it. I don't know if you could see it, like it's a little dark. So pretty much, yeah, look at this, no tension whatsoever. So I think he's just spinning the crank, that's it, nothing else. I mean, it doesn't spin, so the chain is snapped pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I think the chain is snapped from the bottom, so it stays like this, so the crank is just spinning. So yeah, I mean, that's okay. That doesn't scare me whatsoever. The motor, as long as it's good. So I mean, I'm like 90% confident it's good. So I do have like a set of new timing chain guides, and the chain and all the shebangs and bibangs and everything. So pretty much at this point I'll probably move the 750 here, and I'll push this in there so I can work in front of the garage and just tear this whole front end out, because I do have to replace that fender as well, so I might as well do that too. And I'll start the engine and see what's gonna happen. Alright, okay, that's good news now. It's just something to do with the chain. Alright, well, yeah, I'll get this car running in no time. Alright, and plus we'll get new timing guides and the new chain and everything, so it'll be refreshed. So I don't think so it has ever been done. So You can tell by this like a wear and tear. Usually if you change the new timing chain, usually it's shiny. But yeah, I'll just talk less and yeah. Well, pretty much I moved the car here, so, and I have put some garbage bags so not dirt or water doesn't go in there. But yeah, in this case, since so I confirmed it, but not 100%, but most likely the chain is snapped. I did order the parts, well, a couple gaskets and stuff, because I did had like a timing guide chain with guides home, brand new set, so I'm gonna use that. So in this case, we're gonna just start taking parts out. So I'm gonna probably take the whole front end out, because that way it's easier for me to work on the car. So I'm gonna take the bumper, headlights, this front support, the radiator and everything, and that way I would probably have a easy access to replace this fender as well. So yeah, so let me just take this stuff out. So first probably I'll start with the bumper. It's pretty easy. So you have, I think it's torque bolts here, one in the bottom here and the other side. Then you do have to undo, it's probably a little dark, but yeah, so you have 1, 2 and 3 here, I believe, those 8mm bolts. So you undo that, then you undo those 2 bolts and you just pull the bumper out. You can disconnect the fog lights too, and if you have headlight washers, there is a line goes there, so you can disconnect that too, so that way you can pull the bumper out. Yeah, actually, hold on guys, for fog lights, so you have 2 little holes here, so if you push it here, oh yeah, so it pops. Well, I dropped it, but it's okay. So that way you could undo this plug, then same with this side, you just go in that hole, boom, pops, simple as that. Yeah, so we'll take the bumper out, then take the headlights out, and I'll drain the coolant and everything so I can dismantle the car, so I can go into the engine and change the guides and chain. That way I have fresh guides and everything, and then plus put it everything correctly and see if the engine is good. All right. Alright guys, simple as that. Yeah, if you have the headlight washers, you undo this black tab, and also before you pull the bumper, make sure you undo these tabs on each side. They go on this little holes, you have 2 of them, they attach there, so make sure you undo that, otherwise you'll rip all the undercarriage. Now we're gonna take the headlights out, so I'll show you guys if I get a screwdriver. So if you want to take it as a whole unit, you do have a little tab here. If you get a screwdriver and just pull it like this, you probably can't see it, but you'll see in person. You pull it, so you disconnect this fender corner from this headlight, then you do 2 it's under here, 2 10mm bolts, then you can literally undo this 2 Phillips screws and obviously disconnect the headlight, then pull the headlights out. That way, so you have the headlights out, and then so then you can work on the rest. Then before we pull the front support, we'll obviously drain the coolant, we'll take this airbox, then take this shroud and everything, fan clutch. I'll just go step by step. Yeah, I'm gonna take the headlights real quick out, guys. Like I said, easy. I probably won't show that because the video probably gonna get too long, because I have to also dismantle the front of the engine and put the chains and put the timing and everything. So yeah. All right, so the headlights is out. I did took the airbox off as well, off camera. I mean, just 110mm nut here, I mean bolt, and this loosen these 2 clamps. That's it, nothing's complicated. You also have to unplug all these wires. So one goes here, then 2 of them goes on an expansion tank underneath, and then it's just pretty much you do undo this 2 10mm nuts, then you do undo this 3 13mm nuts, and this, and you pull the front end. I mean, you gotta drain the coolant too. I mean, also you gotta undo this 13mm for the power steering, then undo the hoses and pull it out. Simple as that. Alright guys, so my uncle helping here too. So make sure you let the Freon let it go. I mean, before you take these pipes, make sure you don't have any in the system. And so he's undoing those coolant pipes. Then we're gonna undo this power steering one and drain the coolant. Well, I don't have a fill plug, I mean drain plug for the radiator, so I'm gonna undo the one of the wires. I mean, not the wires, the tubing for it. And make sure you, when you pull the front end, this thing sits here, the cable for the hood latch, and this cover sits like this. So undo this, you pop this, you unattach this, so it's, and then so you can pull in. Yeah, right now he's gonna do that, then I'll work on this side. We'll drain the coolant and obviously undo this 10mm bolts and those 13mm bolts on each side and pull this whole front end. It should come out easy. And then, well, obviously detach all the radiator hose, yeah, so we can pull the whole front end, so I have a lot of access to take the engine apart. I mean the front. Yep. Alright guys, as you can see, the front is out. I mean, it wasn't difficult, I've done it before. Now I'm gonna take the fan clutch out and drain the oil, so because I have to drop the oil pan and pretty much dismantle this whole area. Just take it out one by one. Take that other valve cover as well, and yeah, so yeah, I mean it's super dirty, oily, because it was leaking, well, probably oil. So I'm gonna wash it and we'll replace everything, all the gaskets and all that bits. So for the fan clutch, I do have special tools. I think I got it from Amazon or something, but yeah, I gotta take that out. So in order to take the rest of the things out, like the belt and water pump and all the other stuff, and disconnect all the harness in front. Well, most likely I'll probably take the fan clutch out and drain the oil for the day, because it's getting dark, and then I'll continue probably tomorrow. Yeah. Alright guys, I did undo the fan clutch, so it pretty much rotates clockwise. You need this kind of tools for that, and I'm draining the oil right now. I took the oil filter cap. I mean, it doesn't look good. It has so much like metal shavings in there, like you can tell even from here. Like, let me just, I don't know if you could see it, but I mean that could be the, because the chain snapped. It just got it from the guides shaving, because the probably plastic guides broke and they were driving it like that, so it was hitting it, and then just finally chain snapped. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully it's not as bad as I'm thinking from the judging from the filter, but regardless, we're gonna pull it apart. If it's just the guides, I'll just flush the motor really good, and then we'll put it together if there is nothing serious, and we'll see. Alright guys, let me show you this shavings under the as you can see under the light. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in, I mean focus. It's really bad. Yeah, see, it's all sparkly. I mean, it's a lot. I'm really hoping it's because of the timing guide chains. Once I pop the oil pan out, we'll see. Because I did had a motor before, the timing guide chains, they were gone, all the plastic bits, so the chain was rubbing strictly against the guides, the metal portion, so I had a lot of shavings. The motor itself was good, so I've saved it. I mean, I'm hoping it's the same case on this one. So for today probably I'm done, because it's getting dark and I'm working outside. So I'll just put it together, I mean put it together, probably leave it as it is for today, and then tomorrow we'll just pop the oil pan out and take the whole front components out, take the covers out, and see what's going on there. I mean, I really hope nothing wrong with the engine. If the engine is good, we'll just change the guides and chain and all that, like I said a million times. No, I mean, obviously we'll flush the motor before, so I can get all the shavings out. And yeah. Alright guys, I just dropped the oil pan, and look what I found. Damn, the timing guides, they just got destroyed. So pretty much this side, the driver's side, it's like chunks. Luckily the chain wasn't spinning, so the oil pump looks super clean. I mean, still it's a mystery until we take this whole front off. Okay guys, I'm gonna right now start dismantling all this parts off from the motor, and then I'll guys let you know. Well, let me just undo all this, because I don't know if I want to do a montage, because I don't know, who cares, right? I'll show you guys probably how to disassemble back. Let me just take all this off and see what's going on inside, so we have a more how would I say it, more knowledge in there what's going on. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, this is bad, and I feel like because the filter here, like I said, all the metal shavings, it's from the chain was hitting the timing guide covers. It's either the bottom one or the top one. I feel like it's the bottom one. We'll see once I take it out. I mean, I do have all this spare, so yeah. Alright, let me take this whole thing off real quick. Alright guys, I think that was the cause for failing timing guides. I mean, it's completely dead. This tensioner is bad. So I think that was the cause. Yeah, so far this much I dismantle it. I got a little more ways to go, but we're getting there. Yeah man, that sucks. So guys, remember this, you gotta at least replace once a year, because they do go bad, the spring inside. or the coil, whatever you call it. So yeah, make sure you're on it. If you replace this regularly, like once a year, your stock OEM guides will go for longer miles. Yep. Alright guys, so I did dismantle all this. So as you can see, it grinded all here, it bent the teeth here, so this thing comes off. So I gotta order this, broke this, obviously this part, I mean all the guides. So I mean I do have the guides, I ordered all the gaskets and stuff, so I have to get this, replace this. And then it did broke off a piece here on this cover, see, grinded. Fortunately I do have this covers in spare, so I'm gonna replace this. Yeah, so for this episode I think that's it. We're gonna finish it here. So guys, please like, subscribe, helps a lot. So I'll be posting more about it, and thank you. See you in the next episode.